Hello again. It's me, Brian. Welcome to another EMOTIONA Podcast. The second EMOTIONA Podcast. The first one hasn't been uploaded yet, you could say. Kind of working on timing. You have so much content. Making videos, songs, social media posts. Trying to figure out the pacing. What's the right way to time posts to make things, so they don't all come at once, to kind of create space in between each release, to keep your attention, but to also not overwhelm. We don't want to overwhelm. This is crazy, this microphone. This is the Shure SM7B. I've always seen it in videos, performances. It's a famous microphone, super classic. I've also seen it in podcasts. And it's just so real, when you get up close to it and then you have it you're in your microphone or your headphones on and you just hear yourself and you're just checking in. You're like, hello self, good to hear you, sounding great. Thought about having friends in too. It's such a cool way to talk, and it's so crazy that I'm just talking to myself right now, but it's a cool way to talk to anybody. So maybe I'll have a guest on, I was talking to my close friend Matt, potentially getting in here and doing one together, and you can kind of communicate in a way that isn't really normal. It's a little better than normal. You know how when you're texting, you have a little bit more time to text. You can think things out a little bit more, so you can kind of get your point across maybe a little bit more clearly. But it's not like that, because you're in the moment. But it has its own kind of strength. It's when you're talking in podcast mode with your podcast voice, you can be talking to someone right in front of you or in the room or a group of people. And maybe that's a really great conversation. Maybe they're totally with you, they're vibing with it, they're exchanging questions and thoughts, right? But sometimes you get on these little tangents or these little side roads to where they don't really know what you're talking about. But it's kind of you have an hour to fill. You have all this time, so they're hey, take the stage or take the microphone, and kind of you get the chance to kind of go off and talk to someone out there that you kind of imagine understands what you're saying, or is kind of maybe interested in the same things you're interested in, or knows the things that you know that maybe the people in the room don't know. And it's that's okay. It's cool. It still matters a lot that they would be in the space, right? So you're having this conversation with someone. They're getting to hear a part of your mind. They're getting to learn about a part of your mind that you probably wouldn't elaborate on. You wouldn't go down that road. But since the microphone's on, and the camera's on, why not elaborate? Why not stretch out your thoughts, stretch out time, stretch out all the details in your brain. So easy for me, for sure, when I'm talking to people, to just, maybe it's a guy thing too, but to just really generalize and sum things up and be this is the story. There is no story. Here's matter of fact, here's what it is, But yeah, it's just cool to have a long form, little format to talk. So yeah, this is the Odessa track in the background. It's in quarter time. I'm doing this thing where I got this quarter time stretch. To where imagine that you're in regular time, and this is time in general. This is regular life in the world, and it's kind of moving pretty fast. Things are moving, but then you go halftime, and it's time's cut in half. And halftime's awesome. All my bass heads out there, halftime, that's headbanging, so if regular EDM or classic, EDM would be 4 on the floor, which is a kick on every doof, 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 doof. Well, classic halftime dubstep would be kick, snare, kick, snare. Instead of 4 kicks, it'd be kick, snare. So it's just doof, doof. So then all of a sudden you feel like you're halfway going, but that's where the headbang comes in, because you're moving your head. Wow, this is so sick. And I love that, the idea of stretching time and time travel. It's always been super interesting. But this idea with these songs And what you're hearing right now in the background of the podcast is like this quarter time stretch. And, you know, some of my favorite movies like Inception, pretty much anything Christopher Nolan, or like psychological thrillers that nail the whole time dilation, Interstellar, right? Like, you can do it with music. You can do it, you know, with a lot of things, I'm sure, but I know how with music. And now we're in quarter time. So if we were in 4 on the floor, and then we went half step, or whatever, the camera's gonna kill me. I don't have all my musical words, but I can kind of say other things. We went 4 on the floor, and I go halftime, and then quarter time would be like all the like a half of a half, and that's the way I'm seeing it and hearing it. And all of a sudden you're just like, and it's like so calming. It's so peaceful, you know. Why is it so peaceful? Is it because the normal world is so fast? Like our normal life is so crazy, to where if we get something, if it's music or if it's some type of piece of art or a movie or something, or maybe it's a person's voice, or, you know, something that makes you feel more calm. Is it? Are we slowing down time? Is that where we feel safe? You know, do we feel more comfortable? And stick with me on this one, because we're getting closer to like our true essence, like our true timeless essence. We feel more like at peace with our real selves. Maybe. Pretty crazy. But yeah, Odessa, was super fun to make this song. I kind of listened to it all the way through just before this. And like I said in the YouTube show, they've just always had such a bright, beautiful sound. And, you know, I've come from like the metal, darker, you know, alternative rock world, where it was really hard to figure out how to, you know, get these types of peaceful sounds to come out of just me in general in my voice. Like, you're feeling it, and I've, you know, written kind of brighter things in the past, but in general, to kind of push yourself towards a more uplifting or more, you know, brighter, I wouldn't say beautiful, because beautiful is almost like it can be both, right? Because I love sad music, I love dark music, you know, and I'm kind of trying to come to terms with that, just trying to be, you know, comfortable saying, hey, like, I'm the full spectrum, right? Like, wouldn't it be cool if when you meet people, to not have to apologize? Like, I've kind of had to do that lately with a certain somebody, to kind of pump the brakes, like they're not ready for your full spectrum. And it's like, I'm not going to apologize, you know? You shouldn't apologize. It's okay if they don't get your fullness. That's your greatest gift. Be the fullest. And, you know, maybe their wavelength is just somewhere else, you know, and it's cool to think that we all have our own little balance of energy. But yeah, I'm just super thankful to have my little corner here and this little body of mine. Well, it's somebody's body. I'm in it. Odessa, getting a little deep here. Let's see. Odessa, just, yeah, really, really cool group. Come on, electronic duo. I know, like, Alinium always talked about liking Odessa. He always said that they were an influence, and I can hear that. Like, they have like a lot of organic tones. Like, they've got like really kind of soft, you know, thumpy kicks, and yeah, just natural sort of organic feels. But yeah, I'm trying to think of some of my favorite Odessa memories. I talked about it a little bit in that in the latest EMOTIONA Project YouTube video. But yeah, I mean, certain ones like Electric Forest, I feel like I've seen him 3 times. Maybe I've seen Odessa 3 times. The first one, I couldn't spend a lot of time with. I think our group of friends weren't really feeling it, or it was kind of, whatever, not the right time, right place. But we kind of walked by the stage, and I was like, man, I'm sure they're really amazing. That's the way, like, when you're in festival mode, you're kind of like that. You're just like, man, you know, maybe you're walking past a stage to where your group of friends want to go somewhere else, and you're like, man, this is my music, this is my stuff, you know. And a lot of times your close friends will be like, hey, you need to break away from the group and you need to soak that up. That's your thing. But in other times, it's kind of cool to go with the group. And I wouldn't normally say that because I kind of consider myself like a lone wolf in a lot of ways. But it's cool to go with group because that group energy, or if you're above and beyond, the group therapy, literally, amazing. It was so cool. But it's cool you can have both. I've got like a little story with the way I got introduced to electronic music. Like, it was just me kind of going by myself to these shows. Like, I remember my first kind of warehouse electronic experience just by myself. I was super young, and like it was such a cool thing. And everyone was doing all this crazy stuff, and I was kind of like, I was just there for the music. Like, what is this magical place? And I just kept going for the music. It was just the coolest thing. I was totally into trance. I'd go to like Paul Oakenfold, Tiesto, Paul Van Dyke, like Armin van Buuren was kind of getting bigger a little towards the end. But I forget where I was going with that. But just kind of going with music. I'm sure I'll touch on that some other time. Nice story, Brian. But a lot of cool, talking about the group energy, like cool group moments with Odessa. Went down to Hangout Music Festival. That was another one. It was like this dream. I think it was 2017. It was like this dream for me, like as far as because I grew up kind of going down to Florida and getting like the beach experience, and that's just one of the greatest things of all time, with friends and just kind of celebrating everything. And then you have like music festivals, which is my other favorite thing of all time. And then Hangout is like this amazing combination of both of those things. Like, you have this music festival on the sand, and it's like, I knew it was going to be good, and we were super deep in the cave working on our stuff, and it was just kind of like this checkpoint moment I was kind of looking forward to. And it was just everything. It was everything I wanted it to be, or I was hoping it would be. There's a lot of bands there too. Is electronic music, but also like indie rock bands. But like the Killers were incredibly good. And I remember there's a cool story about the Killers at Hangout, and it felt like, is it Brandon Flowers? He's like the lead singer of the Killers. It felt like they felt like they were kind of on their way out. But for me, I knew they were older, but I was like, of course they were older, but they're the Killers. Like, you were so excited to see them. But they felt like, what I really meant to say is, they felt like they were going against this electronic music, this new generation, this new wave, and they were almost kind of apologetic about it. They were kind of like, maybe they thought that like the rock was too raw, or it wasn't perfect, like DJs are perfect. But I mean, we didn't care, and the crowd were like, dude, you sound amazing. You're the Killers. Kill it. But he said one thing in between songs, talking about Evel Knievel. And I'm not sure, because I know they're from like Las Vegas. Maybe they saw Evel Knievel growing up or something. But Brandon Flowers was like, people didn't go see Evel Knievel, this famous stuntman. They didn't see Evel Knievel to land the trick perfectly. They didn't expect him to nail it. That's not what they came to see. They came to see him try. They came to see him go for that radical attempt to just like throw it all out there and put it all on the line. Like, that's why they were there, And I'm not sure if that made sense, but it made sense to us at the time. I was like, wow, that's so cool. And they kept playing his Killer songs. It was the coolest thing ever. But that was like the first night. I think that was Friday, and then maybe Odessa was Saturday or Sunday night. And just Line of Sight. Well, they have the album. I'll think of it. Normally I've got it, but I'm in this talking flow state here. But Line of Sight has always been one of my favorite songs. And you can hear it right now, like it's in this halftime, quarter time dilation slow mode. But I would be like, I'm facing back to front over my shoulder, and the sun And yeah, I'm just really happy with how it turned out. After doing the Nirvana song, this was similar tempo, definitely a brighter sound, which was exciting, you know. And just listening back to it now, I'm really excited to be, you know, getting the chance to make music like this, to make it as fast as quickly as it's coming out. That's really exciting. I'm not sure how fast. Like I want to press the gas. I want to like push it, but like, you know, like I want to do this too. I feel like this podcast is cool. It's like a little moment to kind of go do a deep dive, and I don't know. You can kind of overwhelm yourself with different projects, and I don't know. I don't want to press it too hard, but we'll see how fast the songs come out. But I'm already working on the third one, the third EMOTIONA project. It's another kind of shot in the sky as far as just an artist that I really admire. But yeah, Odessa, if you're hearing this, love your music. Thanks so much for what you've done. You know, I'm sure they're just two regular guys, and you kind of catch a stride or you catch a wave, you know, and it's like, whoa, people are paying attention to what I'm doing. I'm sure that's kind of surprising, you know, like what? This is crazy. And then, I mean, I'm sure they're working with like these really great producers and like, you know, obviously really great just production overall. And that's something too. Like this is just me right now, and it's cool, you know, to work on this stuff on your own. But there's a higher level, you know, that's kind of like, okay, you come together with a bigger team and build something. But I don't know. I'm just grateful to be putting out stuff like this. And it's good to be here with you right now, talking in the moment and stuff. But yeah, we've had a little, wanted to get the Nirvana song on Spotify and Apple Music and like streaming everywhere. I wanted to have that like ready to go by the time the song came out. But here's the thing. I wanted EMOTIONA to be all caps. Like, you know, it's kind of a trendy thing. EMOTIONA, caps. You know, that'd be cool. Zai, Kai. Sorry, is that old school? I don't know. It's a movie reference. But yeah, I want to do all caps. And the first time I thought they weren't going to let me do it. And then I found the runaround, the trick. I found that there's like a secret trick to do it, apparently. And I found the trick, so I had to like take it down. And Apple Music, it turns out Apple Music may be kind of, you know, doing their thing. Maybe they don't want to do all caps. Looks like Spotify should be cool. Looks like Google and YouTube should be cool. Maybe maybe there's an email. Maybe there's a person that you can email at Apple. Be like, hey, where's Steve Wozniak? Woz, hit the caps button, bud. Let's go. It was in the song data, but I feel like this one should be online at the same time. So that'll be kind of cool. It'll be cool to have both those up there on the EMOTIONA whatever artist page on Spotify. It's been really cool, kind of just building out social media pages too, like from the ground up. It's like a crazy feeling to like start something brand new and have it be like, oh, 0 followers, cool, 3 followers. But like it obviously it doesn't matter. But it's this kind of interesting feeling coming from like the I Exist stuff is more established and has like a an audience and stuff. But so many people don't get an audience. So many people don't get a chance to have that feeling, So super grateful either way. And I don't know. I just feel really good about these sounds. I feel really good about how it's all coming out. So whatever it is, however, if you're hearing this, you kind of heard about it some way. So that's cool that we're connected, and it's getting out there into the Earth. Atmosphere. I guess there's like way more satellites than normal lately. Like Elon Musk is just pumping them up. Satellites. I'm seeing all these TikToks with like crazy lights in the sky and all these like reflection dots, and are they UFOs? Is it just Elon, doing a special move? It's hard to say, but whatever. Hey, 4G, 5G. Let's keep it safe, okay? Not trying to get weird or anything. I don't know what that means, but I wrote down this quote, one of the quotes for podcast. Done is better than perfect. Done is better than perfect. Which is kind of like a big theme that I've been kind of hitting, the gas on with this project is not that I was ever all in on perfect, but just kind of like sending it, like that's my buddy Josh, send it. But yeah, just wanting to put stuff out there almost a little bit too early. I remember hearing San Holo talk about that with his latest record. I forget the name of it, but it's really good. I mean, it's almost his breakout record. And he was like intentionally saying, I could spend so much time working on these mixes and making the songs perfect, quote unquote. But it's like, do people even notice? Does that even really matter? You know what I mean? So I've just been trying to speed up my workflow with the songs, but also take enough time to where it's you're still stoked about it and it still reaches the quality level. But send it. It's like you have this huge checklist of things to do in your mind. Hey, it needs this, it needs this, it needs this. But it's like, have you finished it? I mean, no. Have you released it? Release it. Get it out there. On to the next one. Like that's a big part about this project. Is kind of like release, think, or release, listen to it. Okay, next. Revise, whatever, and iterate super quickly. You always hear that, but it's kind of like, I don't know. It's cool to be to a point where I'm just hopefully trying to be rapid fire in a good way. But yeah, just talked about the routine and stuff. Social media pages. It's got the website. We got EMOTIONAmusic.com. It's live. It's a thing. That was really fun to make. Got the domain from GoDaddy. That's you got to do that. And I found this this kind of website maker. It turns out Google has like a pretty solid like a website maker. Like Google Sites. I mean, crazy how Google made like Docs, Google Docs, and like whatever, pretty much all Microsoft Office, like now it's free. Well, it seems like they've kind of done that with websites. So like I just kind of got on there with the new EMOTIONAmusic.com, and they made it crazy easy to make this like really clean, really just bare bones, but like it's everything that I was hoping for, in a website. So that's up. That's cool. I've got the sound pack, or the very first project, number 1's on there with the stems. I'm gonna keep on working on fleshing that out, getting like each song, just kind of leaving. I want the template on there. I want to show producers like my fellow art music people out there that would learn from it, to give them something that I could kind of like, hey, try this out, and like potentially like help them out a lot. Maybe they could learn really quickly, because I know there's a handful of stuff that when I was starting, like that, it's not, you can't like, you're not going to save 5 years, but it may save you a lot. I mean, you may, save 6 months, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I'll start kind of expanding that. The Emotiona Project Vault on EMOTIONAmusic.com. Check it out. It's up now. Jumping on the Instagram game. It's fun just kind of talking to people out there. And, yeah, it's a lot of fun. We got the ball's rolling here, Emotiona. Music. We're here. I'm looking out the window downtown Indianapolis. Hopefully I'm looking at the camera enough. Every once in a while, I'll just say hi, And if you're not watching and you're just listening, well, then you've been here the whole time. Thank you. But yeah, I guess that's a wrap for this podcast. That's pretty fun. Had the lights set up a little bit differently, This is the nighttime look. But is this I think I like the music in the background. Let me know. Throw me a message on social media if you could. Do you like the music, like that faint ambient sound in the background, or would you rather hear just the voice? The voice sounds just like this. Is this better? Or is this better? Let me know. But yeah, until next time, have a good one. See ya.